All this hoo-ha about whether the Rwanda deportation flight takes off is symptomatic of how people want to make this country ungovernable, and, in my opinion, it's a classic case of needless white guilt. The worst thing that we can do is give in to them, because it won't stop here, will it? No. Once people know that you can mob up and surround a deportation van, and if you shout enough abuse at the police, then they'll let the deportee go. Then they're going to keep on doing it, aren't they? If people know that if they shout and scream outside a courtroom, then judges might give in, well, then they'll keep doing it, won't they? If people know that all they have to do is call someone like you a racist, and then you'll keep your personal views about borders and mass immigration to yourself, then they'll keep calling you a racist, won't they? The Church of England should be very careful, in my opinion. Getting involved in politics is a deviation from its basic function and core principles, and in a country where Christianity appears to be dwindling, may I politely suggest that I don't think that's the best idea. Prince Charles is reported to have privately come out against the Rwanda deal, though his people insist, of course, that he remains politically neutral. Yeah, all right. I feel as though he's foregoing the support of his core royalist patriotic base in a bid to appeal to a younger, more woke generation. But it won't work. In fact, I have some news for Prince Charles, especially when it comes to his climate change stuff. The woke brigade won't be happy with you until you've turned Buckingham Palace into a homeless shelter. So crack on at your peril. Campaigners don't want the flight to take off because they believe in a hyper-multicultural society that would smash down traditional cultural norms, ethnic identities and communities, which would erode the very fabric of our society to an irreversible extent in some desperate bid to outdo each other on how non-racist we can all be. Do you not think there's a huge irony here with this Rwanda stuff? People are saying that this policy makes Britain racist, but they're the same people who've been saying that we're a racist country for absolutely ages. They don't think that Pakistani immigrants, for example, talk to other people back home in Pakistan. The Bangladeshis, Africans, Syrians. Well, of course they do. And they've been doing it for generations now. And clearly, they have all come to the conclusion that the UK is not a racist country. Because whenever you see an interview with someone who's trying to come here, it's because they've heard that they can have a better life. I can't help but feel like a lot of the Rwanda protest stuff is just a relatively small number of white people getting offended on behalf of ethnic minorities. A lot of them, by the way, will be the same people who will move out of London or a big city as soon as they have kids, meaning that their children will grow up surrounded by fewer ethnic minorities. It's absolutely laughable, isn't it? I am personally for small government and libertarianism for the most part as well, and I thought that the coronavirus laws were obviously deeply wrong and egregious, which deserve to have massive protests. It's interesting, though, isn't it? I didn't see many lawyers queuing up to defend those who were clobbered with ridiculous fines. I don't really remember charity groups trying to stand up for the rights of elderly people locked away in their own homes to rot away in their final days. But because this issue is supposedly about race, then we'll just give in, won't we? And then just have a look at most of the people doing most of the protesting. And you'd look me in the eye and you honestly tell me that it isn't just a load of virtue-signalling nonsense based around some bizarre sense of inherited guilt.